Hi all, I created this dashboard few hours ago and I decided to share it with you. As you can see on the screen on the left, we have the menus. We have the revenue trend. It can be filtered by year, month or day. We have the total revenue here, the previous year revenue, and then the growth. We have the top selling models. We have the most expensive models. We have the sales by country. We have the quantity sold by channel, be it wholesale, online, or dealership. We have the quantity sold by year. There is also a filter here to help us filter. If, for example, we want to know, okay, so what happens during the year 2020? The moment you select it, you say it filtered by that year. Okay, so I can also clear the slices and then close the filter. Now on the second page, it has all the models where you can just select one of them, get the average price, see how the sales have gone on over the years, and then also the revenue. Okay, so without wasting too much time, let's look at the steps to be taken to get this done. Okay, so these are the things that we have on the dashboard. On the second one, it talks about the data modeling. So we are going to do a bit of data modeling. We'll create the various measures that need to be created. Then we'll create the visuals. Okay, so the last thing, please don't forget to subscribe and click the like button. Okay, so I have a blank Power BI desktop open here. Let me load the files. Okay, so I'll go to CSV. Those files are CSV files. I'll go to data. I'll click this. Okay, so we'll click transform data. We have a bit of work to do there. Okay, so let me just name this fact table. So we have the date, we have year, the model, we have the revenue, we have quantity sold, region, country, and channel. Okay, so let me check if we have some empty stuff here. So the moment I put the cursor on it, I can click remove empty. I don't need those ones. Now I'll duplicate this. I want to create some dimension tables. So model will be separate. We have the revenue also separate. We have no, sorry, we have model separate. We have the region and the country that will be separate, and the channel as well. So let me duplicate this. So this is going to be the model. So in this, what I'll do is to select model and remove all other columns. Now I'll select this and remove duplicate. Okay, so this is telling us that we have 26 models. Now let me add an index column starting from 1. Then this, I can name it model ID. Okay, so the second one to do, let me duplicate again. This is going to be region. So region or country. So let me just make it country. So I'll select these two, remove all other columns. Now I'll click here, remove duplicate. Okay, then I'll add an index column starting from 1. So this is going to be country ID. I'll drag it here. Yeah, we should be fine. Okay, so the next one is channel. Then channel. I'll go to channel here, right click, remove other columns. I'll right click, remove duplicate. Okay, so I'll add an index column. This is going to be channel ID. Then let me drag it here. Okay, so we have these three. Now what I want to do is to merge. So I'll go to home. I'll go to merge queries. The first one is to link it with the model table. So dim model here. Then I click OK. I go here, maintain only the model ID. So I'll go and delete the model name. The next one to do is to merge the country. So I'll go here, select country. So now region and countries are together. So I'll select these two. You can see 1 and 2 written here. And I'll do the same thing here, 1 and 2. Okay, so I click OK. Now I can go and maintain only the country ID. So I click OK. So we have this. The next one is the channel. So let me merge again. I'll select channel. I'll click OK. So I maintain only the channel ID. Okay, so now that I have done that, what I need to do is to take out those columns from the fact table. So model, region, country, channel. So I can remove them. Okay, so now there will be a relationship between all the tables. Now, let me close and apply. I need also to add the flag. I have a flag for the countries. So there is also car image. So let me bring the car images. That's for the models. So we have this. Let me click OK. Now you can see that we have the column name down here. So let's use first rows as headers. So we have model and then we have the image. Now we need to merge this with the dim model table. So I'll select dim model table, merge. I'll select the model. I'll select car images, merge it with this model, and then I click OK. Now when I come here, what I need to do is to maintain only the image. So I have the image here. The same thing will be done for countries. So let me go and select. I need the country flags. So select this. Okay, I click OK. Now you can see we have the column headers here. So let's promote it to be the main headers. Then I'll select dim country, merge queries, the country name. I'll select the countries with flags. I also select the country name here. Then I click OK. Once done, I'll go here, maintain only the flag. Then I click OK. So we have the flag here. Then I'll close and apply. Okay, so now if you go, let's go to our model view and see if we have the relationship. So the dim country is here, the fact table is here. Let me collapse this, reduce this. Okay, and then for the car images, we don't need it again because it has already been merged here. So let me just right click and delete this relationship, and then we only maintain this four. So the dim country, the dim model, and the dim channel. So let me bring this one here. Okay, so I think we are good here. The next thing to do, if we look at our dashboard here, you will notice that we have the month, year, so we need a calendar table. Okay, so let me go back to this and create the calendar table. Now I have a query that I usually use for that. So I'll go to table, I'll click new table, then I'll paste this here. What this is doing is to create columns. It will go through all the tables that have dates, get the minimum and maximum, put them here, and then it will now format it in a way that I can get the year, get the month number, the weekday, the week number, and so on and so forth. So now let me commit this, and then you'll see our table created. So we can see our table here. Okay, so what I need to do next is to go here and connect the table to our date here. So date goes here. Okay, so we click save. Okay, so I think we are kind of set now. Now I have already created the images, the background, so we can bring in the image. So let me browse. I'll go here, select the first one. It's not showing because the transparency is 100%. So now you can see we have this here, and this is our first page. So now let's create this. But before then, what happens? We need to create our measures. Okay, so usually I create a table for our measures. So let's create a table for measures. Call it all measures. Okay, so the first thing that we need is the revenue. So let me right click here and click new measure. So the revenue will be equal to sum the total value in the table. So we have the fact table, sorry. Okay, so what we need to do is to do revenue times the quantity sold. Okay, so let me just put 0 here first. I'll go to the table, or better still, let's go to the transform data. Now in the fact table, you realize that we have revenue here, we have the quantity sold. This is actually the unit price. So we need to calculate the total. So the total is going to be this times the quantity sold. Okay, so let me go to the table. The fact table. In the fact table, I'll now say I'm creating a new column, and that column will be equal to unit price times quantity sold. Let's change this to total. Okay, so I'll go back here. Now I can create my revenue measure. So it's going to be sum of total. Okay, very good. So let me go here. So you can see that we have the revenues here, and then we have the previous year revenue. So we need to create another measure for previous year revenue. So let me go back here. This is going to be revenue previous year. and we are going to use the calculate function. We pass the revenue, and then we use the date add. Come down here, use the calendar date. I think I've explained this in some of my tutorials. We come down here, -1 year. So -1 what? -1 year. So if we are in 2020, -1 will be 2019. Okay, so I can close the calculate function here. So this is going to give me the revenue for previous year. And then we need to calculate the revenue. Sorry, before that, let me just drop this here. Okay, so this takes the revenue, and then we go to calendar. Then it takes, for example, let's use the year. Let's drag the year here to the x-axis. So we have it this way. Okay, now what we need to do is to create a slicer for this year, month, day. And before that, we need to go to modeling. So we go to modeling, we go to new parameter. It's going to be fields parameter, and then here I can call it period slicer. So I'll go here. We want to use the year, we want to use the month, and we want to use the day. So I'll click create. So you can see that we have this slicer here. For now, if I click month or weekday, nothing happens because the two have not been linked yet. So let me select this, go here, and then instead of year, I'll select the period slicer. And then another thing I need to do is to make sure this is always, something is always selected. So I need to force selection. You see, and for month, it's not really aligning it well. It's not well sorted. You have August, March. So what we need to do is to select month here, and then we sort it by month number. So let me try again. Month, January, yes. So you can see now it's well sorted. Okay, so we can bring this to the top here. Drag it all the way here. Do a bit of formatting. So I'll take out the title on the x-axis. The same thing will be done for the y. So we have this now. Now we need the previous year as a line. So let me select the revenue. Previous year is added here, but I want it this way. Even though I click here, nothing is happening yet. So I need to drag the previous year in the line y-axis. So you can see it here. So this is it. Let's try this here. We try this weekday. This is nice. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the size of the columns. So let me select this here. Maybe 40 is okay. And then I want to change the color of both. So this is the color I use for it. I'll provide all this in the description. So we have this color. Now for the line, The line color is going to be something a bit bright, something like this. And then I want it to be smooth. Okay, so yeah, and then month. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to change this one to the new slicer. So let me go here, new slicer. I don't need a title. Let me reduce this here, put it on top. Okay, no border when it's default, and then I want the accent bar to be down there. Okay, but when it is default, there should be no accent bar, and the fill also should be disabled. But when the fill is disabled, then it means that the call out values, when it is selected, should be black, just like others. Now it is only when it is selected that it should be this bold, and then the accent bar. So I'll make sure selected is here, then the accent bar will show at the bottom. Now the color I use over there is this. So let me go back here and use that color for the accent bar. Okay. Okay, so if I select here now, we have this here. Okay, so this looks good. I need to make the background transparent. Okay, so I think we are done with this side. Let's check if there is something that is left that we've not taken care of. Okay. Okay, so, and then you can see the legend is down here. After that, we are going to look at the period. We look at this. So let me go back here. The legend should be down. Bottom center. And then we take out the title of the legend. I think this looks okay. Now here we need the period, we need the revenue. So let me take the revenue. Okay, so I'll make the background transparent. Bring it down. I don't need a category label. The display unit, billions. Maybe 2. Okay, so let me see what is there. Okay, then I can take it to the top here, reduce this to 25 or 30. Color is white. So we are here now. Okay, then I'll bring another one for the previous year. So this is going to be smaller, so let's say 20, and then it's going to be previous year. There is a test box somewhere there that says previous year. Should be this, reduce this, bring it here, no background. Okay, so the next thing to do is to calculate the growth. We also need a measure for the period. So whatever period is selected will be shown here. So let's quickly calculate the growth measure. New measure. Before then, let me create the revenue variance, which is equal to the current minus previous. And then what I'll do is I will now use it in the revenue growth. You can do it direct instead of separating them. That's okay. So revenue growth will be equal to, we are going to divide the revenue variance, which is current year minus previous year, by the previous year revenue. So if you don't want to have it separate, you can just do it here. That is current revenue minus previous revenue before you do the division. So this is the revenue growth. And if you look at this, I didn't just create the revenue growth, I added an arrow. So we'll create another one because we are going to use this for sure. So we'll create another one for that. So let me go here, create a new measure. Revenue variance percentage with arrow. I have created this I think in many of my videos. So you can always reference that as well if you don't get it here. So here I'm creating an arrow that will show up when it is positive and down when it is negative. So 1, 2, 9, 1, 2, 9. Then I'll create another one where down arrow is equal to Unica 1, 2, 9, 1, 3, 1. So I'll go down here and do a return. What am I returning? First of all, I need to check if the revenue is blank. If it's blank, return blank. Otherwise, then I check if revenue variance is greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, then I'll show a plus sign plus the revenue growth. But before then, I'll round the revenue growth and multiply by 100, but round it with just one decimal. Then this will be appended with a percentage and then the up arrow. So I hope you understand this. So we are first of all doing the revenue times 100, the revenue growth times 100, and then rounding it up with one decimal place. And then we append it with a percentage just to show it is a percentage, and then we add the up arrow if it is greater than 0. Now I'll just copy this and paste it here just to change it. So the same thing will be done, just that we are here, we don't need a plus, it's going to be minus. So just that here we are only showing the down arrow. So we close the second if, and then the first if. Let's see if this is working. So I can just copy this, paste it there, drag it to this side, take this out, and bring in the revenue growth out. You can see we have plus 24.7%. Okay, so I'll reduce this size, make it 15. Okay, so this is what we have. Very good. Okay, now we need a measure for the period. So here, selected period will be equal to minimum calendar, and then we append it with the maximum calendar. So first of all, let me format the minimum calendar date. So I want it to give me MMM. So it will give me, if it is January, it will give me Jan, and then D, and then YYY. So the year will follow. So this is for minimum, and then I'm going to append that to the same thing that will be done for maximum. So I have the percent here. I'll just drag this format and then put it here. The only thing I need to change is the max. Okay. So this should be fine. Now let me let me add that quickly here. I'll copy this, paste it down. Then I'll select the selected period. You can see that we have this here from 1st January to 31st, 2023. So let me reduce the size to 12. And then I'll add a label for period. Okay, so now we have this done. Let's go back here. So let's add this, the top selling models. Okay, so how am I going to handle that? Let's go back here. I'm going to add the new card, the new slicer. Sorry. Okay, so I have my new slicer here. The first thing I need to do is to add my model. Okay, so I have my model here. I want to show 5. So let me go to layout and say I need only one row, and then 5 per column, per row. I don't need the title. Okay, and also I want paginated. Then you can see that it's showing down here. That's not how I want it. I want it to be horizontal. So I can click here and see. Now let me add the image. So let's go to image. Then I go to dim models. Remember, we've already merged the car images with the dim model table. So we have the image here. So let me drag it here. Okay, so we have the images showing. What we need to do is to do a bit of formatting. So let me go here. First of all, set the background to transparent. The next one is to work with the image, normal. Okay, so we have normal here, and what I need to show down here is the quantity sold. Okay, here. Let me show only 4 of them. Okay, so I need to show the quantity. So let's go to call out values. There is something called label here. I'll click the label. Make sure the label is enabled. Then I'll go to quantity. I've not created my quantity yet. So I need to create the quantity. What's going to happen is that the quantities will be created just like we've done for the revenue. So let me create all this, and then we'll continue from there. Okay, so what I've done is to create the quantity sold measure. You can see sum of quantity sold. We have the quantity sold previous year, the same thing I did for revenue previous year, just that I changed it to quantity sold. We have the quantity sold variance, which is the current minus previous year. We have the quantity sold variance arrow, which I demonstrated while creating the revenue variance percentage arrow. And we have the quantity sold growth somewhere here, which is a division of the quantity sold variance by the quantity sold previous year. Okay, so now what we need to do is to show the quantity sold here. So I'm going to select this. I'll go to label here. So I'm adding the quantity sold. So it's going to show the quantity sold for each model. And then the next thing I need to do, let me center this. Okay, so we have here, and then the label, I want to make it bold so that we can see the quantity sold per model. So you can see the BMW 1 Series 570. Then we have one which is 609 here, but we want it to be sorted in descending order, which means that we want the highest here, and then the next as it follows. Okay, so what I need to do is to go here. Sorry, is to go here. And then funny enough, it's not giving me the option to sort by quantity. So what I need to do, there is a catch here. So I'll select this first, add the quantity sold to the tooltip. Okay, and then I can go back here now, go to sort by quantity sold, and then it's going to be descending. So you can see BMW Z4 is the highest sold. So I think we are good here now. Now the next thing to do is to show the most expensive models. So let me go back here. I can copy this. Okay, so let me bring a text box for this top selling models. Bold, and then maybe 11. So it's going to be here. Now for this, I don't need the borders, so I'll take out those borders. Go to the button, take out the borders. We're showing it for selected, sorry. So default, no border. Okay, so we have this here now. This should hide its background. Okay, so top selling model, we have it here. Now we need the most expensive, so I'll just copy this, paste it here. And then what I need to do for this is to remove the quantity. I'll go to call out values, remove the quantity, and add the average price. We need to calculate the average price. Okay, so let me go here, new measure, because we need the most expensive models. So let me go to new measure, average price should be equal to um, revenue division. So let me use the divide. So divide revenue by the quantity sold. So revenue by quantity sold. So this will give us the revenue. This will give us the average price. Sorry. So here I'll select this. I'll go to the label and then I'll add the average price here. So you can see the average price is showing in a funny way. So we need to format it. So let me create another measure and then I'll just call that one average price formatted. So new measure. So here I'll just say average price formatted. Then it's going to be format average price I'll put the dollar sign here, put this here, comma dot 0, comma, okay, I want it in thousands. So let's see what we get. So now I can remove this average price and then put the average price formatted here. You see it's nicely formatted now. Because the reason why I did that is because it's difficult. It's I don't think it's possible to format that average price that I put here, here just like that. So I needed to format it and then added it to here. Okay, so now we have the average price, and you can see this has 77,000. This has 77,600, which means this one, for example, is higher than this. But why is it showing here? Because we've not sorted it yet. So let me go here. It's showing the quantity sold, but we don't want that. So I'll go to this, remove the quantity sold tooltip, or I can still leave it there. And then I'll bring in the average price. In this case, I'll now go here and say, okay, sort it by average price, but let's make sure it is in descending order. So you can see that the most expensive of all of them is BMW M8, which is 79,100. Okay, so let me now make it 2 columns, 2 rows. So I'll go to layout, 2 rows, 2 columns. I'll take it to the top here. I'll bring it down a bit like this. In this case, I want the border to show. I want the shape to be rounded rectangle. Then, okay, so, and down here, what else do I need to do here? I think that's all. I don't want this. I can still leave it there, or just filter it to only show the top 4. Okay, So what I need to do is to go to model here, basic filtering, top and top 4 based on the average price, and then I apply, and then this is done. Okay, now the next thing to do, let me add this label here. Most expensive models. Okay, now let's go here. We have the countries. Okay, so let me focus on this first. Quantity sold by year, previous year versus current year. So I go here, I bring in this quantity sold previous year, and then I'll make it by year. The year will be dragged to x-axis. So we have this here now. Let me do a bit of formatting. So here, X, I take out the title. Y, I take out the title. For the columns, I want the quantity sold current year to be this, and I want the quantity sold previous year to be this. Now, I'll select all, come down here. The space between categories, I want to reduce it. Okay, and then the space between series. Okay, so we have something like this, which is fine. I forgot the legend, so let me go to legend, take out the title, and for consistency's sake, I'll bring the legend down, center right, or center, sorry, bottom center. Okay, so I can bring this down here. Now, reduce it, take this up a bit. Quantity sold, the title is going to be quantity sold versus quantity sold by year. Okay, so we have this now. I'll go here, take out the background, give it a visual border. I want it to be rounded, maybe 5. And then the color of the border should be something like this. Okay, so yeah, I think we are getting there. Let me reduce this a bit to be on the same line. Okay, so we have this now. Okay, so let me add the donut here for quantity sold by channel. So we have this quantity sold by channel. So quantity sold, and then I'll go and select the channel here. Okay, so I'll bring it down here. I don't actually need the legend in the way I design it in the other one. So, okay, so I'll take out the legend. And then in the detail labels, so what I'll do is to show all details. Then let me see if I can format the percentage. It's somewhere here, 0. Okay, so it's showing wholesale 45%, online 22%, 33%. Okay, so let me change the color of the slices. For this, I want this one. For this, I want this. The online can stay like that, but I'll reduce this. Okay, and then I'll add the total quantity down here. So let me select total quantity. That's the quantity sold in a card. Reduce it. I'll take out the category label. No background. Then I'll bring it here. Reduce the size to 30. So we have this here. Okay. Okay, so we now have to work on the table here. Now, in the table, we have the country flag, the name, the quantity sold, some Sparkline here, the variance, that's the group. We have the revenue, another Sparkline. I got all these Sparkline from Kerry Kolosko. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name well. She's so good. I think I've demonstrated some of this in one of my videos, but we are going to do the same thing again here. So let me go here. I'll bring in a table. So this is the table here. The first thing we need to do is to bring in the flag. So I'll go to dim country. I'll select the flag and look at how it is showing. Why is that? Because we've not categorized the flag yet. So we'll go to data category and make it image URL, and the flag will be shown. Now we'll go here to quantity sold. Now, first of all, we need to show the country name. So the country. We'll go to quantity sold. We show the quantity sold variance arrow. Okay. We show the revenue. And I think that is it. The revenue. Okay, so now we are going to work on the Sparkline itself. Okay, so what I need to do is to take you to Kerry Kolosko website. We'll go to template. We go to SVG templates. I'll also provide this URL in the description. So what do we need? We can use the progress with icon. There is another one I saw somewhere here. Yeah, this is the one. So open a new tab. Okay, so we need the area Sparkline, or we can use the opaque area, anyone. So this is the area Sparkline. So what I need to do is to copy this, and then let's go here and then say revenue and create a new measure. Okay, so we are creating a new measure for revenue. So I'll call this one revenue Sparkline. Okay, so revenue Sparkline, you can see that this was referencing some different table. So what we are going to do is to change this one to calendar, but I will not make my date. I'll use month number. You can see the month number here, 1, 2, 3 up to 12. Okay, so let's do Control Shift L, L for love. So here calendar, then I'll say month number. Don't use month, because in this case it's going to get the minimum and the maximum, and it's going to be difficult when you use just the month name. So we are going to use the month number. You can see it has been changed almost everywhere. We have the financials date, and then here we have financials alone. So I can also do Control Shift L for love and then change it to calendar. Sorry, I mistakenly pressed the Enter key. Change this one to calendar. Okay, now the sum gross sales will be changed to revenue. So Control Shift L to select all sum gross sales, then we make it revenue. Now you can see that somewhere here there is this condition: if as one value, financials, country, we don't need that. So I'll take this out, as well as the comma. Then I'll press enter. Okay, so I think we are ready now. Let's go and try our revenue. So I'll select the table, then I'll select revenue Sparkline. What do we have here? Okay, so I'll select this, go here, image URL. So you can see that it is showing here. This is interesting. Remember to change it to image URL, otherwise it won't show. Okay, so let me go to image size now. I want my height to be 25 and then the width to be 40. Okay, so that this will be okay, so we can make it 50. Okay, so it depends on you. You can change it to whatever you want. Now let's go and try another one from the same site. Maybe let's use, there's one I saw with the, we can use this. I may not use exactly what I use in the tutorial, but it's the same way. So I'm just using any one so that you guys can decide on whichever one is okay for you. So let's go here and select one of these. Okay, so I think this is nice. So let's copy the Sparkline here. I'm copying is the same way. So I'm using this for the quantity sold. The first one I use it for revenue. I'm using this for the quantity sold. Okay, so let's create a new measure. We are coming to do the same thing here. So this is going to be quantity sold. And then here, the same way I did for the first one, Control Shift L for love, then calendar, and I want mine should be monthly, so month number, sorry. So month number, let me select it. It's applied to all of them. And then down here for sum gross sales, we are going to have Control Shift L. We are going to have quantity sold. This will be changed to calendar. And then we don't need this condition, just like I did for the first one. Then I press enter. So this is for quantity sold. If you have any issue with this, please let me know. I'll help you out. So this is for quantity sold. Let's go to our table. I'm adding that to the table. Now look at what happened earlier. So make sure you select it and then you go to data category and make it image URL. So now when we close it, we have it somewhere here. So you realize that this is a bit different from what I have here. I think all of them are the same. You use same procedure to get this done. So try it out and let me know. This is what I use for quantity actually. For quantity, this is what I use. This is what I use for quantity. Okay, so let's try and use the same thing. So I'll select this here. There is the first one says to use in a singular visual. The second one says to use in a table or matrix. So let me copy this and go back here and circle. Okay, so let me go to this measure, select all, I paste it. Same procedure, Control Shift L, calendar, month number. Please, if you have any issue, just let me know. I'll help you out. So calendar, month number. For gross sales, I'll say Control Shift L again for love. Quantity sold. Here we change this to calendar. And then in this case, do we have if has one value country? Yes, so we can take this out. There is a mistake somewhere. Calendar B. Okay, so that's it. This is why sometimes you don't need to panic. Just one mistake somewhere, then you see everything highlighted. You see, now it has changed. Now let's do our formatting. I'll go here for country. I'll take out this, so I'll put a space there. Please make sure it is a space. And then here I'll change this to country. So I can put flag and country together. Quantity sold, and then this arrow, I can put the variance symbol there. So I'll press window key and the dot sign, dot keyboard, so key. So when I do that, I'll go here, select this, and I press enter. That is done. For revenue, Sparkline, I don't really need this caption. I can put a space there. For this one, it goes beside the quantity sold. And then here too, I'll select all and put space there. Look at this. So we have something well formatted here. I'll drag this here. What do we have to reduce to have enough space? Did I put the 2 here? Yes, I put the 2 there. So the revenue, yes, I need to format the revenue. So let me go to specific column. I'll select revenue, display unit. I want it in millions. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, so now we have this bit formatted. Do we need a total? Let's take it out. I mean, it's your choice if you want to leave it there. I'll take out the total. And then the background is out. So this is something good. Let me reduce this and then pull this here a bit. Okay. Now I need this label. That will be put on top here, which means that I can reduce the size, the height of my table. That's okay. Quantity sold by country or bold. Okay, so we have this here now. Another thing that I did was to hide the that line. I think I changed the color of the line. Let me go to grade, go to border, then make it something like this. I'm talking about this blue line somewhere here. And also I'll go to values. I want everything white. So values, and then the alternate background color should be white. Then I'll hide the line in between as well. So I'll go back to grid, horizontal grid line. I want it to be white. Okay, so this is fine. I think we are almost through with the first page. I don't need to save this. We're almost through with the first page. Let me take the fruit out. Now let's create our second page. So I'll go here. I'll bring in the background for the second page, which I also provide to you to make things fast. Now it's not showing. Transparency should be 0. And then we have our second page here. Now, the first thing I did in my second page, is to add the search and then add this image here, the table somewhere here. Then we have this down. Okay, so let's get started. So for the search, this is what I did. There is this test search slicer. If you go to get more visuals, you should see it here. So you can see it here, test search slicer. So you add it to the existing visuals that you have. So let me drag and drop this here. And then I'll make sure I link it to models. I'll go to input. I'll go to general. I want to make this one 14. Okay, so I don't need a background. I'll reduce the size, drag it here, then we have this here. Okay, so the next thing to do is to go and copy this from here and put it down here. Drag it all the way here. Then I don't want 4 to be shown here. We have enough space. So what I'll do is to go to layout and say I still need a 1 row, but columns should be 10. Okay, so I have 10 being shown here. Okay, so if it's not okay for you, you can reduce it. We can make it 8. Okay, so I think 8 is okay. Now let me copy again, paste it on top here. Then 1, 1. Okay, I don't need I can leave this here, but let me take it out. I didn't use it for the other side, so I'll take out the label. Then I can also take out the value. Okay, so whatever is selected here is what will be shown here. So here I want to make sure there is always one selection. So first selection. Now when it is selected, I don't like this background. So when it is selected, I'll go to fill, make sure it is selected. I'll go to fill, and I want it to still remain the white. Just that the call out values when it is selected will be bold, and then it will be black, then a bit bigger, say 12, and maybe when it is selected too, I want to use the accent bar, but it should be at the bottom. and then it should have this color. Okay, so you can see that we have something close to what I have designed here. Now we can add this too. Now look at what I did at this level. First of all, I use the card for the model. So let me get the model here. It should be a card. So this is the model selected. I don't need the category label, and then I do like this. My problem with this, okay, so I'll take out the background. It's not a problem. My problem with this is that there is actually no way to align this on the left, so it's always somewhere here, but I want it to be well aligned. You understand? So now what I'm trying to do is to rather use a shape. So insert shape. So I have this shape here. I'll go to shape style, no fill, no border. I'll enable the test, go to test. I'll click here and then select model. Now I think it's white, that is why it's not showing. So I'll use black. You can see it here. I'll change it to 20 or maybe 25, and then I'll make it bold. But the good thing about this is it can go left. So to me, it's better for me in this scenario than the card. So I can drag and drop this here, so that anytime I select something, I know it's always well aligned. You can see. Okay, so aside that, let me just make this a bit longer. Aside, I'll do the same thing for the average value of the car, average price of the car. So here, I'll go to shape style, I'll go to test, clear it, add again, field value. Now look at what happened. When I select average price, it's not taken because it's expecting a text. But luckily for me, I have the average price formatted. So I can select that and click OK. So we have this here. And if you want to just put a label down there, you can just write something like, let me take a text box and say average price. And I'll go up here, drag this and then put it all the way down here. It should go up, take out the background, and then it should go up a bit. So this is the average price. Okay, now we need to add this table, and it's kind of the same that we did over here, so that we can know when the model is selected what has been sold over the years. So I'll select this, then I'll come and paste it here. It go up here this way. Then instead of country, it is the years. You can leave it as country, it depends on what you are presenting to your users, but I'm using the years. So I'll take out this, I'll take out the country, then I'll add the years. Year is summing, I don't want it to summarize. And then we take the year to the top. There we have the quantity sold. You see how the sale has gone through. We don't need the variance, you can leave it there if you want. And then we have the revenue for that particular model. Then we drag it down here. Okay, so this is what we have. In this case, I think I left the total so that we know what has been sold as total for quantity and the revenue. So I'll come back here, then I can enable the total. There's something I've also been doing. If you don't want anybody to click here, you just put a button, a blank button, and then what you do is to just make it cover this whole thing, and you are kind of good to go. There are many ways to handle that, but that is fine. So this is what we have here. So now we need to just add the menus and making sure I think here is okay. So let me add the menus. Just pause. All models or all cars. So all models, let me make it bigger. We are yet to do with the filter. We are yet to do the filter on the first page. So after this, that's what we are going to do. So we have all models. Let me add an image. I'll also provide the icons just to make the work faster for you. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. Let me make it a bit smaller. Okay, and then all models or all cars come here. And the next one is to copy this and put it on top here. And that one will be dashboard. This is going to be dashboard. Let me add the image of the dashboard. That should be black. Okay. Now for this to work, when you click, we just have to go to button, blank button. I'll put this here just to cover this. For that button, I don't need the border, just blank. Then I'll copy and paste this one also here. Okay, so for this, what I'm going to do is to enable the action. Go here to page navigation and select. No, this is not going to give us the dashboard. So we are already on the model, so this is not going to work. So it's okay like that. We go to the dashboard rather, enable the action, go to page navigation, and then we go to page 1, which is supposed to be dashboard. So let me just change this one to page 1, to dashboard. And then this is going to be all cars or all models. So I can go back here now and say that take me to dashboard. So now see, when I press Control, click, it takes us to the dashboard. Okay, so the same thing can be done here. Let me just go and copy this two labels. Sorry, I don't need this button here. That's okay. So I'll do it again here. So dashboard, bold, 14. Then it's going to be white. So let me select all, change this one to white. And then what I'm going to do is to add the icon of the image. So the dashboard, I have the white here. Okay, so that's for the dashboard. And then for the all models or cars, I have this. So if you want to go to all models or cars, you come here. So let me just copy and paste this and change the color to black. So copy and paste. Then here is going to be all cars or all models. So select this. Bold 14. So we have here, this time if we click all models, it takes us to all models or cars. So I'm bringing in the button again. So it's going to be a blank button. I'll use it to cover this. And then I'll take out the border in button style. I'll go to action and say okay. So go to page navigation, destination, all cars. So when I control click now, it takes me to all models or all cars. If I click dashboard also, it takes me back. Now the next thing to do is the filter pane. Let's quickly do that. So what I need is a shape. The shape will have this color. Let me go to shape style 10. The shape will be filled with a color like this. Or a color like this. That's okay. Or white, anyone. Okay, so what do we need in our shape? We need a filter, a slicer for the year. I want it to be drop down. And then I want it to be transparent. So this is going to be here. The shape should be bigger. Okay, so after year, I think I need 5 of them. So let me add 4 more. Okay, so when I go here, what do I have in my filter pane, and I click, I have here region, channel, model, country. Region, channel, model, and then we have the countries here. Okay, so this is it. Now I need a close button and clear all. So I'll add another button, blank button, and that will be for close at the top here. So what I want to do is to remove the icon, remove the border, go to fill, browse. I'll bring in the close, and then here I'll change it to fit. So we have here, we have this here now. Okay, so now let's group all this. Another thing I need maybe is to add another button, but with just caption or label. So I'll add this button here, down here. This one will have no image. Okay, just that the text will be close, bold. Maybe we'll go back to the fill and give it something like this, with not this. So you can make it nicer than what I'm doing though. I'll go back to buttons. I'll go to clear all slices. This is also going to help, just in case you want to clear all slices. So we have this here, no border, and then the fill should be the same color. No, this. Then you take it a bit further. You can make it bold. Okay, so now I can reduce this. I'll go to my selection pane now. First, let me take just this. This should be maybe 5. Now let me go to selection pane. What I want to do is to select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this the moment I press Control, because my finger is still on the Control key while selecting. If I click this, it may not select because it's thinking maybe I'm trying to execute some command. So I'll leave it like that for now. Then I'll group whatever has been selected. So Control G to group. Then after the grouping, I can just name this one filter pane. Now let me select the clear all slices. So this is the button. You can rename it. Now I can drag it in. Okay, so we have the button here, part of it now selected. So if I select this shape now, The shape is also is supposed to be part, so I forgot when I was selecting. So let's bring in the shape also. The button should go up. Yeah. So we have the shape. The moment I select, you see everything is selected. Now I will now create my bookmark. Add bookmark. The first one is hide filter pane, and the second one is show filter pane. So hide filter pane is going to hide this. So first of all, let me right click, deselect data, selected visual will be selected. This also data is taken out, selected visual is taken. Now let me go back to hide filter pane. I'll make sure the filter pane is selected, hidden. Then I'll go here. I'll go here and click update. Then for the show filter pane, I'll go here, bring it back. So it's showing now. I'll make sure it's selected. I'll go to show filter pane, right click, update. So when I click hide pane, show, it is showing. Very good. So this is working. Now I want to add a button here so that whenever I click, it is shown. By default, it is hidden. So let me add a blank button. Drag it here. For that blank button, the button style, no border, and then the text is show filter. This is going to be bold and it's going to be white so that you can see. So when I click here, it should show the filter pane. When I click here, it should close the filter pane. So let's go here. While the button is still selected, I'll go to action and then I'll select bookmark here and say show filter pane. Now when I click this button here, make sure you click it twice because already it's grouped. If you click it once, it will consider you are selecting the group. So I'll select here, select bookmark. Anytime that one is chosen, hide filter pane. The same thing for this button. Make sure it is well selected. Action, I go here bookmark, then I go to hide pane, hide filter pane. So control click now, watch this control. If I click, I press control and click, it is hidden. When I press control and click show filter, it is showing. So now I can filter by year. You see, I can deselect and then I'll click close. I can click the close even at the top here. It's gone. Now let's add our BMW logo. Okay, so we have it here. I'll copy and paste it here. Okay, so what is left to do? The inside and this logo here. So let me go back here. I'll copy this, paste it on top there. Select and write inside. Select all bold. Select all making it 16, and then I'll bring that icon there, this, reduce it, then I'll put it here. Okay, so I can copy these two, go to dashboard, and then I paste it. Okay, so this brings us to the end. Is there anything that we have forgotten? Let me check what we have here. So we have this on top, we have this. Okay, so let me close it. And we have this here, we have the most expensive. So we have, I think we have everything sorted. Everything is done. Guys, you can make this even better than this. Make it better and share. Add more insight to it. Now you can hide the all cars page so that when I click here, it takes me there rather. So you can see almost everything is there now. That is good. Let me increase this. Okay, so this is what I have for you. I'm sure we've all learned some one or two things from it. Kindly make sure you subscribe. This is what keeps us going. You subscribe, you like, and share. And also, if you have some ideas, share with us. If you have any concern, let me know. If you have something that you think I should have done to make it even better, let me know. If you have any question, you can buzz me. You can also follow me on LinkedIn. Okay, so thank you so much. And remember again to subscribe, to like, and share. Thank you so much. Bye.